In this class, let us see few properties of the triangles. We know that triangle is a three-sided polygon which looks like this. Its vertices represented like this, its sides represented as AB, BC and CA. Then its angles represented just with their vertices or together with the arms. For example, this angle can be written simply as A or together with both its arms as BAC or CAB. Now the angle B can be written simply as angle B or together with its vertices ABC or CBA. And similarly, angle C, we can write it like this. Now, can we take three random line segments? For example, 3 centimeter, 15 centimeter and 25 centimeter. Can we take three random line segments and expect them to form a triangle? We can't, because if you see these three lines, 3 centimeter, 15 centimeter and 25 centimeter, they would look somewhat like this. So there is no way that these three line segments are going to form a triangle. So what condition do these three line segments have to satisfy to form a triangle? Let us see what that is. Now this is the condition that it has to satisfy. The sum of any two sides of a triangle has to be greater than the third side. For example, take these three line segments. What this rule means is that 10 should be less than the sum of these two, 15 should be less than the sum of 10 and 18, and 18 should be less than the sum of 10 and 15. Is that true? Let us check out. So now we can see that 10 is clearly less than 33, 15 is clearly less than 28 and 18 less than 25. So these three line segments will form a triangle. Now what if we are given only two of these line segments? Suppose, let us take this one out. We have only two line segments, say 10 centimeter and 18 centimeter. Then what will be the upper limit and the lower limit of the third side? We know that the third side cannot go above 28, above 10 plus 18, which is 28. So it cannot be 29, 30, etc. It only has to be below 28. So any number below 28, be it 27, 20, 19, all of that will form a triangle together with these two sides. But how less can it go? Can it go up to 5 or 3 or 1? The answer is that it cannot go below 18 minus 10, which is 8. So the third side has to lie between the difference of 18 and 10 and the sum of 18 and 10. So what will it happen if we take a number which is below 8? For example, 5. What will happen if we take 5? How is it going to go wrong? What happens if we take 5 is that, see the greater number here, which is 18. 18 will not follow this rule then. Let us check what happens. Suppose I am taking the number 5. What will go wrong? See this, 18 has to be less than 10 plus 5. But is it less? Then the larger number will not satisfy this rule. So any number which we take, here should lie between 8 and 28. All the numbers in this interval will form a triangle together with these two sides. So what is the conclusion here? So this is the conclusion. Any side of a triangle will be greater than the difference of the other two sides and less than the sum of the other two sides. Now let us go to the second theorem. In this theorem, we will prove that the exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angles. Now, take a triangle. How many interior angles does it have? 1, 2 and 3. 3 interior angles. And how many exterior angles does it have? How do you find the exterior angle of a triangle? You extend one side, and this angle is called the exterior angle. So how many exterior? You see that you have 3 interior angles. How many exterior angles can you have? At each vertex you can have 2 exterior angles. So totally you will have 6 exterior angles. How is that? This is one exterior angle. Then if you extend this one, you will get an exterior angle here, right? And similarly 2 exterior angles here. How? You extend this side, you get one exterior angle. Then you extend this side, you get the second exterior angle. Similarly here, extend this side, you get one exterior angle. Extend this side, you get the other exterior angle. So totally you will get 6 exterior angles. So what does this one say, this theorem say? This theorem states that if you take a triangle and consider one exterior angle, then this angle, this 4, is equal to the sum of 1 and 2. What is its relationship with the third angle? It is adjacent to the third angle and it actually forms a linear pair. If you see that, see this one where you have C, how does this look like? This part, just this part, look at it. It forms a linear pair. So 3 plus 4 is actually 180 degrees. So that is the relationship of the exterior angle with the third angle which is adjacent to it. But that is not what we have to worry about here. What we have to prove is that 4 is equal to the sum of the other two. And that is what we are going to do now. So we start by constructing a line which is parallel to this BC, but through A. Let this be that line. So that is the first thing we do. We construct AT such that it is parallel to CB. Now consider these two lines CB and AT. And what does CA look like? If you remember, we studied about the parallel lines and the transversal which cuts parallel lines. That means if you have two parallel lines and a line which cuts them like this, then the alternate angles are equal, or in other words it looks like the English alphabet Z. Now look at this. Can you see that here? One line goes here, another line goes here, and a transversal cuts it. Then this one will be equal to this angle here. For the sake of convenience, let us name it 4 and let us name this one 5. So this one is equal to 4. Why? Because we have considered CA as a transversal and these two angles are alternate interior angles, hence they are equal. Now leave this one and now consider this one BA. Again you take two parallel lines which is CB and AT. But first we considered this transversal, right? But now we are considering this transversal. Again, if you remember, we studied in the transversal of parallel lines. If there are two parallel lines and there is a transversal through them, then the corresponding angles are equal. That means corresponding angles means what? Both the angles which come below. So here, this is one angle and this is another angle. So, if you consider BA as the transversal, first which one did you consider? You considered CA. Now you are considering BA. If you consider BA as the transversal, you will see that angle 2 is equal to angle 5. Why? Because they are corresponding angles. So now you have two set of equations. One says that angle 1 is equal to angle 4 and the second one says that angle 2 is equal to angle 5. So what if we add these two equations? You get angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to angle 4 plus angle 5. But what is angle 4 plus angle 5? Which is CAP, or in other words, this whole angle. And what is that whole angle? It is the exterior angle which we were looking for. So we have proved that the exterior angle is equal to the sum of the interior angles. Now, before we go to the next theorem, let us get a complete picture of how an exterior angle looks like. Consider this triangle ABC. Its interior angles 1, 2, 3. So how does the exterior angle look like? You have to extend this, then this 4, which makes a linear pair with this angle inside. This line, which makes an angle such that these two form 180 degrees, is what is called the exterior angle. So this is not the only one, right? If you extend this one here, this will also form 180 degrees with 3. There. 3 plus 4 will also be 180 degrees, and 3, if we name this 5, angle 3 plus angle 5 will also be equal to 180 degrees. So this is how the exterior angle looks like. Often I see students get confused. They look at any angle which falls outside the triangle and think that it is the exterior angle. Let me show you an example of an angle which falls outside, but it is not the exterior angle. There you have 3. Look at this one. This is not an exterior angle. Why is that? Because if you extend it like this, this is how the line falls, and this is the line which forms, this is the angle which forms 180 degrees with 3. So this is not an exterior angle. This just happens to be an angle which lies outside. Let me show you another example. Let us extend this, okay, and extend this. What about this angle? Is this angle the exterior angle? No, because see, 3 lies here. This is not even near 3. 3 is lying here and C is lying here. It is not even adjacent to 3. So leave alone making a linear pair, it is nowhere even near 3. So this is not an exterior angle. So notice that whenever we are talking about an exterior angle, we are talking about an angle which is formed when one of the sides is extended and it forms a 180 degrees. It forms a linear pair with this angle, with the adjacent angle. So this one, similarly this one. These two angles are what we are talking about. This is not an exterior angle. Similarly, let me show you one more example. Maybe I'll draw one here. What about this one? It is adjacent to 1. But does it form a linear pair? No, because see, when we extend it, this line, this is the line we get, and we extend it here, this is the line we get. So this is not an exterior angle. So now let us, we will learn more about it when we start doing the question answer sessions. Now let us go to the next theorem. In this theorem, we will prove how the sum of the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. Or in other words, angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degrees. This is what we are going to prove. And we will start with the construction. Extend BC and consider the exterior angle 4. So just by the previous theorem, what did we learn? We learned that the exterior angle is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angle. Not the one which is adjacent, it forms a linear pair with it. This we learnt in the previous theorem, right? But what about its relationship with the one which is adjacent? Angle 4 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degrees. Why is that? Because it is a straight line, and a straight line means this one is supplementary angles. 3 plus 4 make an angle of 180 degrees. But what is angle 4? It is equal to 1 plus 2. Just substitute this value here, and there we are done. Sum of the angles is 180 degrees. Now let us do one or two questions related to the theorems we have learned so far. Now we have to find the other two angles of the triangle. One is given, we have to find the other two. Now do not rush into the conclusion that this is an exterior angle. Why is it not an exterior angle? Look at the angle here, 3. So this is the exterior, one exterior angle, and the other exterior angle is this. See, this is the one which forms 180 degrees with A, one angle, and the other one here. So this is in no way the exterior angle. So then how will we proceed? What does this actually look like? This one, X. So what are these two angles? These are the vertically opposite angles, and we learned that the vertically opposite angles are always equal. So this is also equal to 80 degrees. So if this is 80 degrees and this is 50 degrees, what will be this? We learned that the sum of the sides of a triangle is equal to 180. So suppose this is X. Let us name it X. So all of them together is 180 degrees. Or in other words, this 180 plus 50 is 130, right? 130 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. That means X is equal to, what is plus here? When it jumps across to the other side of the equation, it becomes minus. So 180 degrees minus 130 degrees is equal to 50 degrees. So we have found all the three sides. Let us see one more question. Now we have to find the angles of this triangle. Let us name it X and Y. We have to find what X and Y is. What do you have here? This is an angle which falls outside the triangle, but still not the exterior angle. Why? Because this is how you extend and this is how you extend, and these two angles are the exterior angles. So this is in no way the exterior angle. So how do we solve this? Look at these two lines, one line like this, one line like this. So what can you make of this? These two are parallel lines. So what happens when you have two parallel lines? What do you know about the interior, the adjacent interior angles on the same side of the transversal? They form a supplementary pair. Or in other words, if you have an X here and an Y here, together together their sum is 180 degrees. But here, what is the angle on the top? This whole thing, right? This whole thing is the angle on the top. So X plus 70 degrees, the angle on the top, plus the angle below, which is 60 degrees, together form a supplementary pair. Or in other words, X plus 130 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. So X is equal to 180 degrees minus 130 degrees, which is 50 degrees. Now that you have two sides, you can find the third side automatically, right? So, what is the third side? Together, they form 180 degrees. So, y is equal to now we don't even have to use this theorem. Even without that, we can guess that way pretty much. See, this is one line and this is the another line. Both are parallel and this is a transversal which cuts them. So what do you have here? You have the alternate interior angles. So naturally these two will be equal. See both the ways of Z, right? This and this. They will always be equal. So just looking at the figure itself, you can say that if this is 70, this will also be 70. So that is it. We come to the last question of this section. Now how do we find the angles of this triangle? None are given. No, not even one angle is given. So, but we do have the exterior angle. And what is the relationship of the exterior angle with its adjacent angle? It forms 180 degrees, right? So if this is 120, what plus 120 will give you 180? 60 here. Similarly, what plus 130 degrees will give you 180 degrees? 50 here. Now, if you take this external angle, this will be equal to the sum of the opposite interior angles. So, this will be 50 plus what will give you 120? 70. You can double check the answer. 70 plus 60 gives you 130. 70 plus 50 gives you 120. So, that is all for today. Inshallah, we'll meet you in the next class. Till then, stay safe.